Hey beautiful people, what's going on? Hope you're all doing amazingly well. Welcome back to another Let's Talk Mentality. Today we're going to be talking about where you're at right now. Are you where you want to be, or you're not where you want to be? Maybe you're at a point where you feel like you could do more for yourself, or maybe you feel like you've done all this stuff. Maybe you're married, maybe you've got your own house, your own business, you're doing amazingly well in all of these aspects of life, but you still feel like there's something missing. I had a conversation with a couple of people about it the other day, and I thought actually this is probably something that could be talked about a bit more, something that a lot of people can relate to, so why not get into it right now? Maybe you feel like things have moved too fast for you, maybe you feel like that you've done all of these things, that you're married, you've got your own house, your own car, your own dog, like everything is there for you, you've got your own kids, but you still feel like there's something missing. Maybe it's not been fast enough for you, you've just finished school, you finished university, and you just don't know what you're doing with your life. You compare yourself to everybody else around you. They're in a very different position to what you are, and you think, should I be at that point? And you start questioning yourself, and you start comparing your life to everybody else's and thinking, this isn't where I need to be. I feel like I should be somewhere different, somewhere where like all my friends or people that you know are all at right now in their lives. And with all that going on, you feel pressured, you feel that there's all this stuff going on around you, and you feel like you need to act fast towards it in order to gain that for yourself. Or you're feeling bad about where you are in your life. You feel like that maybe you've made too many mistakes, or maybe you've not fully plunged yourself into this whole exterior of things, and you're thinking, where was it that you went wrong? Maybe family members keep asking you questions, or friends keep asking you questions, like things like, oh, not got a boyfriend, girlfriend yet? When are you thinking of moving out? So you've just finished your degree. What next? What are you going to do now? And you just don't have the answer, because maybe you've answered it enough to people too many times already, or you just generally don't know what to say, because you don't know when you're going to be with somebody, you don't know where you're at in your career aspect of things, you don't know when you're going to get your own house, you just don't know. Sometimes when you look at family members or friends from the outside, from the exterior, they seem to have this perfect life going on around them. Maybe they're in a long-term relationship, maybe they have just moved in somewhere, or they're looking at moving in somewhere, maybe they're somebody that's independent, that's doing really well by themselves, they've got their own house, their own car. You compare that and you think, well, hang on, why am I not in that position? Maybe you feel that things should be different for you, they're not where you expected it to be, and ultimately it's getting you down. I mean, believe me, I've been in this position many a times. I think probably back in my teens I started comparing myself to people and thinking, why am I not at where they're at, kind of thing. And that probably started from when I started comparing my looks to other people. I remember when I just started secondary school, I would look at all the older girls in year 11, sixth form, and I'd look at them and I think, oh, they look amazing, like they look like young women, and I can't wait to get to that place, because people will be looking at me the same, like I'll look much older, I'll look my age, and I'll feel amazing and where I should be. And then I got to that age, I got to year 11 and I still looked quite young for my age. Got to sixth form, I still looked quite young for my age. And I started thinking, well, hang on, where was that transition? Like, where's that transition that was meant to happen? It happened for everybody else. Why hasn't it happened to me yet? Where have I missed it? Like, have I misplaced that opportunity somewhere? Like, where has it gone? It really confused me, and it made me evaluate where I was and thinking, even though I'm 17, nearly 18 years old, I still look I'm about 13, 14. And there was me thinking, where's my time come? Why have I not blossomed or become this young woman that I've been yearning to be? I always had this vision in my head, not as like something that I aspired to have, but just as something that I thought was part of the norm, where by 24, 25, I'd be married or looking to get married, starting a family, have my own house, be doing really well in my career, and just being in that element of things. And I got to 24, 25, it wasn't there. Wasn't in a relationship, didn't have my own place, all these things that I think society has deemed for a long time that naturally happens in your 20s. You just have these things going on for yourself and you think it's not happening. I thought by this time I would have travelled to many places, I would have got experience going on holidays with, friends or a partner or something, and explored the world, and again, that just hasn't happened. There have been times when I look at those things, or I look at where all my friends have been at and where they were at in all their aspects of life, all people around me, like loads of people on social media. Obviously, when people are having an amazing time, they post it all out there and they want everybody to see it, and it just left me feeling really down and really pressured. And really evaluating my life and thinking, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Why haven't I obtained that for myself? Is there something that I need to do differently? Do I need to be following what they're doing? You just naturally compare yourself. You naturally reflect, you naturally evaluate, and you think, why am I not where they are right now? I've got a lot of people in my life that are at different positions in their lives. I've got friends that are in relationships. I've got friends that have moved out. They've moved out of their parents' house and they're either living on their own and with friends or another partner, start families, get married. A lot of people that I see on social media, their careers have just expanded and their income is just amazing. They're traveling to different places, they've got different opportunities, they've got all of this going on for them. And does it make me think sometimes like, I wish it was different? Sometimes I think, well, why isn't my life like that? Even people that are older now that may have experienced all these things already, and they're in a position now where they feel like they're missing something, that something's not right in their lives, that they wish that they had that life, that they wish they had different things going on for them. It doesn't just happen to a certain type of person, it happens to everyone, whether you've done everything or you've not done a lot of things. It happens for everyone. I think the problem is that within societal norms, we've been put in this position for a long time. We've transitioned into leaving school, university, getting the job, doing really well in the career, meeting somebody, getting married, having children, starting a family, getting our own house, your own life in a sense, starting a new family and building upon that. That tradition has been around for so long. I think now we use that as a measurement to our own lives right now. So if we're not happily married, if we're not with somebody, if we're not having kids, if we're not in a stable career that we enjoy, if we haven't moved out, then we measure that against societal norms, previous traditions, and then you compare yourself and you think, that's not my life at all. But the thing of it is that when you focus so much on what's going on around you, when you focus on other people's achievements, their achievements, what they've achieved in their lives, you steer that away from yourself. That's what a lot of the time I was doing. I was too busy comparing myself. I was too busy looking at other people's lives and not looking at my own. As soon as you do that, you completely forget about what you want for yourself. You completely forget about what is best for you and your pathway, and you automatically think that you should be doing what everybody else is doing because that looks like the happy, amazing, perfect, traditional life that you should be having. You enable everybody else's successes, their achievements, to be a measurement compared to yours, and that's not right at all. All of your energy then goes on to them. It doesn't go on to you. The most important person in your life is you, and if you're not focusing solely on yourself, you get lost in everybody else's achievements, successes, what they bring to their lives themselves, and you completely forget about what is best for you. I'm at a point in my life where I'm happy, I'm content, but I know that there's a lot out there for me that I know I can achieve myself. And I think quite a few people are in that situation themselves, but then just not sure what to do about it. How do they get that next promotion? How do they go and find somebody? How do they go and find that person that they're meant to be with for the rest of their lives? Some people don't necessarily want that. Some people don't ever really want to get married. Some people don't ever want to have children. Some people are just happy with their 9-to-5 career, Monday to Friday, and they just want to stick to that because they're content and they're happy with that. People are just happy being where they are and who they are. I still live at home with my parents. I'm not in a relationship, haven't started a family, I haven't done any of those traditional norms, but that doesn't mean that I haven't done any other things for myself. I know that I've worked hard for and that I've achieved. That doesn't mean that I'm not where I should be right now. I think with all the comparisons out there and with everybody doing all these things for themselves, we get lost in that and we think that that's what we should be achieving for ourselves. But we're all individuals. We all have our own things going on. We all have our own passions, beliefs, values that we want to follow for ourselves, and that could be completely different to your best friends. That could be completely different to any of your family members. It's solely about you and what you want for your life and what you feel like is best for you, being where you want to be in life. Since being engrossed in sort of the law of attraction kind of stuff, I've been trying to manifest and trying to put out to the universe what I want for myself, what I feel like I deserve and should be part of my life, and just allow that to naturally happen. Just let things be how they're meant to be. And it's hard because I've only just started practicing this, and it's not something that you just naturally start doing. It's just something that comes to you when it's meant to. And once you fully believe that you are where you're meant to be, life has put you in this position because you're meant to be in this position, then things just start calming down down, you start feeling more easy with yourself and your life, and you just feel content with what you've got right now. So tips, advice in terms of how you get to being where you want to be right now. So first thing, everyone's paths are different. As previously mentioned, your path is not going to be the same as somebody else's. You might not want to get married. You might not want to move out of your parents' house just yet. You might not be in a serious relationship. You might want to be single. It's no good comparing your life to somebody else's. It's no good feeling like that you have to match somebody else's, because that's not how it should be at all. There are achievements that I've done that not everybody else has done. I did not think that as soon as I was 18 I was going to go to university, and I didn't. As soon as 18 hit, I just thought, yep, I'm not going to go to university, not doing any of that. Went to university the first time, didn't work out. Went to university the second time, and it did work out. I came out with a bachelor's degree, which I never thought I would be able to obtain, which is amazing. And I worked hard for it, knowing I solely worked hard for it. I've started doing more passions that I never thought I would do. This, for example, I never thought I would start my own channel and be filming these videos. Never thought that I would be doing pole fitness in my life. I never thought I would be, but I have done, and I'm glad I have done, because it's been one of the best things I have ever chosen to do. And some people wouldn't want to do what I want to do. Like, they think it's amazing, but they wouldn't choose that for themselves because that's not their pathway. And sometimes your path, you can't choose what's there for you. You can put out to yourself, you can give yourself goals, you can allow yourself to think about your pathway, but sometimes you can't control what happens. What's meant for you will just happen. I truly believe for myself that this pathway that I'm on right now is the pathway that I'm meant to be at, and that's it. I can just calm down and just go with the flow. So just remember that your path is not the same as everybody else's. Everybody else's paths are not the same as yours. So just allow it to naturally happen as it's meant to happen. So second thing, analyze your successes rather than compare them. So with my degree, for example, looking at that is a major success for me, because all of that hard work, all of that planning, stress, blood, sweat, tears that went into doing my degree, I'm so proud of that, and I could not be happier. I did that alongside working full time. I'm proud of that. I'm still at that point where I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's still not come about yet. There's no point me sitting here and being like, oh, my friend's gone and done this, she's travelled to a load of places, her degree or her career has taken her to be able to travel the world, why doesn't that happen for me? As soon as you start comparing, as soon as you start saying, well, I'm not doing this, but she's doing that, why am I not doing that? As soon as you start questioning that and you put in the what ifs, you're going to drive yourself mad, and you're never going to be happy with any hard work that you've put into any of your things. Remember that this is your journey. Remember that this is something that you are doing for yourself. Everything that you choose to do, make sure that you do it for yourself. All your successes, like, think back at all the things that you've done for yourself. Like, for me, I learned how to drive, I got a bachelor's degree, I started pole fitness, I moved away for 6 months, and even though it was a really hard time, like, I did that. And I look back at that now and I think, wow, like, that's amazing. And you've got to look at it like that. Don't think that just because you haven't done X, Y, and Z or followed societal norm, don't feel like that's a failure. Think of it as something that's building for you right now. All these things have built for other people, so it's going to happen for you as well. I always find that writing things down is always good as well. So just list down all your achievements that you've done in your life, even if it's just like the littlest things. If you feel proud of it and you feel like that it's something that you achieved yourself, write it down and you'll get this big list, and you'll look at that and you'll think, wow, I've done all that, that's amazing. And you won't feel the need to compare yourself to anybody else's successes. You'll be able to be proud of your own and own it. So number 3, believe in your own life. Believe that this is the pathway that you're meant to be on. Believe that everything that has happened to you so far is meant to happen for a reason. If we don't appreciate and be grateful for what is in our lives right now, what we've got going on in our lives right now, it can be really difficult to ever be happy with anything, because you could put all these things out to the universe, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen straight away. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because you said all this that it's going to happen like next week, next month. It could take a few months, a few days, a year, a few years. It could happen at any time. There's no time limit to it, because as soon as you do that, you start putting pressure on yourself, and all these things you're trying to do for yourself, whether that be achieving your goals, trying to find all these things for yourself, you're just going to get yourself down, and you're not going to want to work towards anything, because nothing will be happening, and you'll just go in that constant cycle, and that's not how you're able to be where you want to be. I'll use this for an example. So years ago, I used to be really down that I wasn't in a long-term relationship. relationship, that I didn't have a partner, that I wasn't with anybody. Yet many other people that I knew, whether that be friends, family members, were all in that. And I just used to look at that and think, oh, like, I wish that was me. Like, why don't I have that? Nobody likes me. Nobody wants to be in a relationship with me. However, when you look at it from the other side, I've had friends say before, oh, you're so lucky to be single. I wish I was single. I wish I didn't sometimes have anybody to worry about. It would be nice to be able to just do my own thing whenever I wanted to, and that's not a part of my life anymore. Not to say that they were unhappy in their relationships, but they just miss things that I had, and sometimes I miss things that they had. So the grass isn't always greener on the other side, it really isn't. People have their own things going on, their own things that they wish they had in their life, that they wish that they were able to embark on, and it's just not happened for them yet. So just believe that things are meant to happen for you when they are, and then when they do, when it all comes to you, you'll look back and you'll think, oh yeah, it did happen for me when it was meant to. So it will happen, just give it time. So number 4, basing your worth on numbers. So a good example of this is if you post a picture online and you expect to get so many likes on it and you only get a small amount, you think, well, this picture's awful then. If not many people are liking it, that means it's an awful picture. I need to take it down right away. You've just based yourself on a number that is not even worth anything at all. Like, what is that number worth? The amount of people that like you, the amount of friends that you have. You start using numbers as a sense of worth. For example, people losing weight or trying to put on weight, they use scales as a number as their worth. Somebody that's really skinny and they're trying to put on weight and it's not so much weight, then they get down about it because it's not as big a number as they would like to. Vice versa, somebody trying to lose weight, they are basing their worth on the number on the scales and allowing that to make them feel good or bad about themselves. And that's a bit of a dangerous game. If you're just solely basing your life, achievements, everything on be where you want to be on numbers, again, you're just going to get down, you're going to get anxious every time something doesn't go right or it doesn't go the way you'd planned. You're going to get down on it. Vicious cycle starts spinning round again. If anything, don't base it on that. Base your worth on things that you know is going to be of value to you. So for example, with me doing my poll, I base my worth on that when I know that I've tried really hard. Even if I don't get a move, even if I don't master something, even if my body's like, I can't do this today, at least I went, at least I gave it a go, at least I tried. That's what I base my worth on. I base it on myself. My goals and my worth and what I want for myself is going to be very different to what somebody else wants for themselves. And as soon as you start introducing numbers into it, it becomes a game. And when you start losing that game, you start faltering, you start losing interest, and you start losing interest in yourself and what you want for your life. So base yourself on realistic things. Base your worth on things that are realistic to you right now and that what's going on that you're doing for yourself right now, not on the number of things that should be happening. I know that's hard sometimes when you're in a career or you're in something that is just all about numbers, but don't allow the numbers to affect you to the point where it's overtaking you and allowing you to think, I should be doing this, I should be getting this many likes on a photo, I should be going to this many places a year, I should be meeting these many people. Just base it on what you're able to do and what you're doing for yourself every day right now. And the last thing, which I've previously mentioned, but I'll just mention right now because it's probably one of the most important out of them all, believe and solely believe that you're on the right path. You're doing what you can for yourself every single day, whether that be going to work every day and still looking for jobs online, whether that be going out to social occasions and meeting new people in order to gauge your future partner kind of thing, saving money each month so that you can put that towards a deposit for your house that you want that day. If you're doing things every week, every day for yourself, and you know that you're working hard for it, you're doing all you can for yourself, that's all you can do. As soon as you start pressuring yourself to feel like that you haven't got this, you haven't got that, this person's got this, but you haven't got that, you start comparing yourself, you get into that cycle again. There's just no point at all. You may as well just stop what you're doing and not bother anymore. And I think it's really hard when you know you work hard, you know you do everything you can for yourself in terms of whatever that may be, whether that's in terms of work, finding a relationship, finding a new car, finding a house. I think it's easy to fall into that, and I think it's easy to feel like that you have to be in a certain place by a certain time. If it's not, then you're doing something wrong, or you feel like the time is ticking and you just need to obtain them for yourselves, it just becomes a big mess, and there's no point in trying to do something for yourself if you feel like that it's not for you. Sometimes I don't even know what the long term is. I may not be in a position as some of my other friends, my other family members, but that doesn't mean that I'm doing something wrong or that I'm doing all this for the sake of nothing kind of thing. It just means that I'm on a different pathway to what somebody else is. I wouldn't want to be like anybody else. I wouldn't want to be on the same exact pathway as somebody else, because then I know what's going to be happening, and that's no fun. The fun is in when things happen when you don't expect them to. The fun happens when you start doing things, or you're sitting somewhere one day and then something suddenly comes to you, or something just puts itself in its pathway right in front of you and you think, wow, did not expect that. That's the fun of it. Like, things that aren't expected sometimes are actually really great and really beneficial to your life. It's amazing to have goals. It's amazing to have something to work towards. Of course it is, but don't allow it to affect your life to the point where if you're not having it in a certain amount of time, don't let it get you down. Don't let it take over and make you feel like that you're a failure, that you're doing everything wrong, that you're not where you should be compared to other people. If you're allowing yourself to put things out to the universe, if you're allowing yourself to put your thoughts and feelings out there of what you want, it will come to you. One day you will find the partner that is right for you. One day you will be able to excel in your career and you'll be in the best positioning of your life. One day you'll be able to earn as much money as possible. One day you'll be able to have the house you want. One day you'll be able to go travel the world, explore different places, do different things, meet new people, and you'll get to that point in your life, look back and think, what was I worrying about? And it's easier said than done. I know it is, because we want to be in the best position of our lives and for it to continue, but just remember how much more of your life you've still got left. I think sometimes people rush into things too fast. They've got everything and they think, well, what's next? What am I going to do next? They don't saviour the moments. They don't allow the moments to just be and live in the moment. And for some of us that are still trying to work towards it, it is really hard sometimes to live at the moment, because you just want those things. You just want it right now. You want it right here, right now, because you solely deserve it, and that's absolutely true. But it will happen when it's meant to happen. All those things that you want for yourself will happen for you someday. And I think that's it for this video as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, all the things you know you're meant to do. And yeah, thank you for joining me with another Let's Talk Mentality video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care.